This is the intelligent control expansion dock for your Tesla Model Y and Model 3. And today we're adding buttons back to my car. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Anton, a power engineer, industrial mechanic, and a Red Seal electrician. We cover all kinds of products and topics in an approachable way for the average everyday person. I'm glad you found us. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. If you own a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, you know the frustration about having no buttons at all on your car. It instead has a giant touchscreen in the center of the dash, which for the most part works pretty good. But sometimes you just want to add that tactile feel mixed with the convenience of easy to reach buttons for everyday tasks. So we're gonna have a look at this because it looks to me like it will install quite easily and it has a pretty factory looking install. So it's not gonna look out of place like some of those other add-ons that just look a little bit gaudy in my opinion. So let's go through a complete install, unboxing, and final review of this intelligent control expansion dock. Now we need to start with the unboxing. I haven't seen what's inside of here, so you guys can get a look the same time as I do. This is the box cover. Obviously, this is what I'm expecting to be on the inside. First off, we've got an installation and use manual. It looks to be full color in Chinese and in English. So here's our first look at the button itself. And I'm looking forward to this dial. It should click, and I think that's it. It just turns and pushes, and then there's these buttons here. We'll look at exactly how those work in a minute. There's some USB ports on the bottom. These are for powering this up. Some double-sided sticky tape, which we'll see during the installation, and USB-C charging ports that bring it up to the front, that make it a little bit more accessible for charging accessories. I really like how this thing looks. Like, it's pretty premium looking. It feels pretty good. It doesn't twist or break. The buttons feel nice. The dial feels good. I'm pretty excited about this guy. And then inside here, I expect to have all of the wiring, which we do. So here's the control module. This says 3 and Y CAN bus. It does have a memory card slot. I'm not sure what that's all about. And then the harness connector here. This is the harness kit, which interestingly, this does not have a pass-through. So that is going to be interesting for me because all the other accessories I have a pass-through, so that if you connect to it, you can connect more to it. But this one looks like it needs to be the end of the line. I'll just plug this in now so I don't forget on the install. Now it looks like plugging this in was a little bit harder than it should have been. There's a little tab on there, so it only goes one way, but it didn't even want to go the one way it was supposed to go. So this is ready for the install. It does have the OBD2 plug. This car does not have the OBD2 plug, so I'm not going to be able to use that. That's for guys that have the Chinese Model Y, which mine isn't, so it's not a big deal. It just means that this is the power dongle for extra accessories to make it work. So now it's time to jump into the install, and install is actually really easy. So all we're gonna do is pop off this side panel here and get to the connector port. There's an OBD2 port behind there, and that's where everything's gonna connect to make this thing work. The first thing we're gonna do is peel back the rubber on the side of the door and then pop the plastic panel off. Then there's a little pop pin here. You just need to pull that out and it will allow you to remove the rest of the plastic trim and the carpet. And then behind that carpet, you'll find the connector sitting out in the open easily where it can be plugged into. If you've installed any other aftermarket accessories, they will plug in right there just as well. So you'll know exactly what we're looking for. And then what I like to do is test the system before we close this all back up. But if you're confident it's going to work, you can close it all back up, and then we'll move to the center dial install. One thing to note about this module is that the connector does not have the Y that comes off. So if you've got a lot of these devices stacked on top of each other, this will need to be the last device in the line, or you won't be able to add more. So if you want to add another one after, you'd have to unplug this one, plug your other ones in, and then plug this in at the end of the line. But otherwise, the install is pretty basic. Now the install here is easy. I've plugged the USB cords into the back already, and then all we want to do is just slip this in at an angle like this, give it a tap, it's in position, and now we plug the USBs in to the USB connectors that are under here. If your car doesn't have the USB connectors, you can also plug it into the cigarette adapter, which is way up under in here, if your car has it. Mine has the USBs, so I'm going to plug them both in right now, and it will start powering up. Now this will automatically pair with the module over there. You can see that it's paired already because it's telling me my passenger door is open already. And this is it. So I can start fiddling with whatever I want here. So here I'm adjusting my AC fan. It's definitely adjusting, which is great. I can switch to volume, and I can turn the volume. And when I turn this, the volume on the screen moves up and down as I click through this. So I don't have to touch my screen. It's as easy as reaching down, turning the dial, and then you're wondering, well, how does it look when it's closed? Well, you just close that, and it looks factory. Like, it can't look any more factory than this. This is great because I can just reach down and turn the dial. I love being able to turn the dial. Now these buttons are all pre-programmed to do preset functions. So if you push once, it'll switch between the AC, auto, and manual mode. So I can click it to auto. I can switch my acceleration mode here between standard and chill. Over here, I can activate the window lock and unlock for people in the back seat. And here is my glove box button. So you guys saw that. When I push this button, glove box opens. Now one thing to note, if you have a pin lock set up for your glove box to where you have to type in a pin, this will bypass the need to do that. So you're not going to be able to lock it anymore, but someone would need to know to push that button. Personally, I don't keep anything of super crazy value in my glove box, so I'm not too worried about it. If you're worried about security, this will open that glove box and it will bypass all of the security checks that you put in place to keep people out of your glove box. Now it also has push and hold functionality. So if I push this and hold it for 2 seconds, something else is supposed to happen, which it's now opened my driver door. I don't know if you saw that, but if I push and hold this one, then it should open the back door. So I'm going to try it for 2 seconds and then let go. And then that door just popped open. This one here would do the passenger one as well. My favorite setting, as I just click through the dial here, you can see all the different settings. So I can pull up the child lock. You've got your mirrors. So if I turn that, now my mirrors have folded in. And if I turn it again, my mirrors will fold out, just like that. And then I'm going to turn that off. But my favorite here is the color setting. So I can turn this on and then I can adjust my color. I don't want it to be an auto because that just cycles through kind of some rainbow colors. And then we've got settings where we can check function. Can I turn certain functions off? Oh, look at that. I can change the shortcuts to be something else if I want. I can even control the rear AC. So if I push that down, I can turn rear AC on from here, and then that'll start blowing air in the back seat. Otherwise, I've got to pull it up on the screen up here. Now, a couple things to note. This will do basic functions. This is not fully programmable. So whatever functions are here, those are the functions it has. That's it. It's not like the sexy knob where you can actually unlock a lot of features that your car didn't have before. So that's why this is a little bit cheaper than some of those other products. Now, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need, I'll put a link in the description to where I grabbed mine from, and be sure to post in the comments if you've got any questions or anything about how this thing actually works. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together.
you'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.